Hi everyone, it's Christina with Candid Property Solutions, and I wanted to make this video to go over a part of our process that I think a lot of people who are looking for someone to sell their house might be a little bit, it's daunting for them. So I wanted to lay everything out to eliminate any hesitation that you might have, and that's the contract. So I know that paperwork can be really scary for a lot of people because oftentimes we don't know what we're reading and we don't want to get into anything that we don't understand, and that might have, legal ramifications later on. So I thought it would be really helpful for me to go over each part of the contract one by one. That way you can become more familiar with it, and that can eliminate any of the scariness that usually comes with it. So as you can see, it's one page. It's really, really straightforward. We don't use any legal jargon in there that you can't understand, so that you know everything that you're signing. So I'm going to go ahead and just throw the contract up on the screen so that you can follow along with me. Okay, so here we are on the contract. The very first part you'll see, it's just going to have who the agreement is between. So it's going to be Mrs. Property Solutions or Candid Property Solutions. I have my address whited out here just for my own privacy. And then here's where we're going to fill out your information, your name, mailing address, phone number, and email. Pretty straightforward. And then it says that you're going to be referred to as the seller in this agreement, and then I'm referred to as the buyer. The very first part is just stating what the property's address is, so really straightforward. The second part is going over the purchase price, so it's going to say the total purchase price to be paid will be, and that's however much it is. The deposit, it says escrow of buyer's choice shall hold buyer's earnest money in the amount of $1,000 due after inspection. So this means that we are going to be putting money into escrow after our inspection is done, and that's basically kind of like an insurance for you, so you understand we're serious and we're going to be buying your house. Next is going to be the closing date. It says when the closing date will take place on. And then it says seller agrees to convey clear title by grant deed free of any liens, judgments, or any other encumbrances, and that taxes are prorated at closing. So that just means that you are going to be selling us a property free of any liens on it. The next part says closing costs, and it says buyer agrees to pay all costs associated with transferring title, including closing costs and escrow fees. So that's how you know we are going to be paying for everything, and not a dime is going to be coming out of the purchase price on your end. So the purchase price is what you're going to be netting at closing, unless there's any liens or judgments that need to come out of that. But we will be paying for all escrow fees and all closing costs. The next part says buyer agrees to purchase the property as is, and the seller is not required to make any repairs. So plain and simple, you are not required to fix anything before we buy your house. The seventh part is inspection. So this agreement is subject to the final inspection and approval of property by the buyer in writing by a date. Additionally, the seller agrees to provide access to the property prior to the inspection date so that the buyer may show partners, lenders, inspectors, investors, and or contractors prior to closing. So this basically gives us a extra due diligence period so that we can make sure that all of our funding's in line, we have a game plan for how we're going to be exiting the property. Eighth part talks about agency. So it says seller agrees and understands that the buyer or any representative of the buyer, including Christine Ortega, this is my name, may be a licensed real estate salesperson, but understands that the buyer is not representing the seller or acting as the seller's agent in this transaction. It's further agreed that the seller will not be paying the buyer a commission. So this basically means that I may have a license, but we are in a clear understanding that I am not using a license in this transaction, and that furthermore, you as the seller are not required to be paying me a commission. Ninth part is assignment, and this says that the buyer may assign buyer's rights and responsibilities under this agreement without any further consent. So this basically is giving us a way to work on our exit strategy. There's 5-6 different things that we may a strategy that we may be doing in any deal that we get into. So the assignment there just gives us the ability to be able to pivot, and whether we need to put it in another company's name or work on it with a partner, that's what that is there for. And then the 10th and final one just says that the seller understands that the buyer does not intend to occupy this property and it's being purchased for the sole reason of making a profit. We're in this is a business for us, so we just want that to be clear, and that's it. Then there's a place for the sellers to sign and then a place for us to sign. So as you can see, it's all very straightforward, really easy to understand. So we want you to feel comfortable and safe when working with us, and just know that, we're in this to do good business, and we want you to feel comfortable every step of the way. So if you guys have any questions, please reach out, and have a great day.